live. Let me hit start recording here, just in case StreamYard takes a while. I still have a backup video recording. So the first part of this will be the public hearing for the CDBG grant from Lake County. Paperwork for that. I get my fingers to work here. I don't think I have to do roll. No, they didn't do a roll call for this morning's public hearing. So, so opening remarks. Each spring, Lake County Community Economic Development Department applies to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development (HUD) for new funding through the Community Development Block Grant Program (CDBG). One of the application requirements is to hold public hearings in the communities where CDBG funding is allocated in order to obtain input from the local citizens on the proposed uses of the new funding. For fiscal year 2025, the town of New Chicago CDBG allocation is approximately $36,445.93. The most common use of CDBG funds is for infrastructure, including street reconstruction, sanitary sewers, water line extensions, storm drainage improvements, sidewalks, and projects to remove architectural barriers, handicapped access, such as curb cuts and wheelchair ramps. CDBG funds may also be used to eliminate slums and blight through demolition of unsafe buildings or other clearance activities. CDBG funded infrastructure projects may only be done in areas where the neighborhood is at least 42% low to moderate income according to HUD guidelines. In most cases, an income survey must be done to qualify the area for funding eligibility. The income information taken by the survey is strictly confidential and is used solely for the purpose of determining the area's eligibility for CDBG funding. Handicapped access projects and demolition may be done anywhere in a community without the need for area income determinations. The public hearing is just the start of the application process for Lake County. There are a series of legal advertisements and comment periods that take place during the summer prior to final grant approval from HUD in late August. New CDBG funding is released to the county and its entitlement communities on or around September 1st and needs to be expended by June 15th of the following year. After public comment tonight, 3 documents need to be read and adopted: the Affirmative Action Program, Section 3 Understanding, and resolution authorizing city/town executive to submit a project proposal for CDBG funding. Finally, project applications and supporting documentation need to be submitted no later than May 5th for review by Lake County. The floor is open for comments. One thing I do want to state really quick, the resolution authorizing this was already passed by the council at the last meeting. So that part's already done, because while we can theoretically pass our own resolutions, with this kind of be awarded to the town and then the town telling us that we get to use it, I felt it better for them to pass that resolution. So, we currently have nobody here from the public, but we do have to at least wait the half an hour period before we can close this and start the Parks Board portion. So I guess while we're waiting for the public, for any members of the public to possibly come, I'll go ahead and read the other 2 parts and sign them. Affirmative Action Program implementing Section 3 of the Housing and Urban Development Act of 1968. Specific affirmative action steps. Town of New Chicago agrees to implement the following specific affirmative action steps directed at increasing the utilization of lower income residents and project area businesses. To ascertain from the HUD Area Office Director the exact boundaries of the Section 3 covered project area and where advantageous, seek the assistance of local officials of the department in preparing and implementing the affirmative action plan. To attempt to recruit from the appropriate areas the necessary number of lower income residents through local advertising media, signs placed at the proposed site for the project, and community organizations and public or private institutions operating within or serving the project area, such as Service Employment and Redevelopment, SER, Opportunities Industrialization Center, OIC, Urban League, Concentrated Employment Program, Hometown Plan, or the U.S. Employment Service. To maintain a list of all lower income area residents who have applied either on their own or on referral from any source, and to employ such persons if otherwise eligible and if a vacancy exists. To insert this affirmative action plan in all bid documents and to require all bidders to submit a Section 3 affirmative action plan, including utilization goals and the specific steps planned to accomplish the goals. To ensure that contracts which are typically let on a negotiated rather than a bid basis in areas other than Section 3 covered project area are also let on a negotiated basis wherever feasible when let in a Section 3 covered project area. To formally contact unions, subcontractors, and trade associations to secure their cooperation for this program. To ensure that all appropriate project area business concerns are notified of pending contractual opportunities. To maintain records, including copies of correspondence, memoranda, etc., which document that all of the above affirmative action steps have been taken. To appoint or recruit an executive official of the company or agency as equal opportunity officer to coordinate the implementation of this Section 3 affirmative action plan. And can I borrow your pen?
Quick question.
Yes.
Is this like a normal Parks Board meeting where we're not reading the online comments?
Actually, for this, we could probably take some online. Well,
If we
no,
have
because
any
they're,
very,
yeah. I think if we get any, we can read them real quick, because
Okay.
technically they're still supposed to stand up, state where, name and address and all that. But
as
at
long,
this point, I think if we get any,
as long as they're relevant.
Monitoring
and
this
not-
right now.
I can.
Yeah, as long as they're relevant and not
Yeah.
common comments, obviously.
Right. Not hit that button, because that button didn't feel good. Parks Board meeting. And no comments currently.
Okay.
All right.
It was a thought.
Set that there. All right, and then the other one that I have to read.
You want me to read something for you? So you don't have to do all the heavy lifting?
If you want to read that one, by all means, Zane. It's all legalese, so it's, drier than the paper it's printed on.
Lake County, Indiana, Section 3, Understanding. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, issued regulations that provide the directive to create job opportunities for low-income persons when HUD funds are expended on a construction project. These regulations are known as Section 3 policy. The purpose of Section 3 policy is to ensure that the employment and other economic opportunities generated by federal financial assistance for housing and community development programs shall, to the greatest extent feasible, be directed toward low and very low income persons. Section 3 covered projects are construction, reconstruction, conversion, or rehabilitation of housing, including reduction and abatement of lead-based paint hazards or other public construction, which includes buildings and improvements assisted with HUD housing and community development assistance. Section 3, covered contracts do not include contracts for purchase of supplies and materials. However, when a contract for materials includes the installation of the materials, the contract constitutes a Section 3 covered contract. Fund recipients and contractors must show compliance with the numerical goals set forth by the regulations. The numerical goals for new hires apply only to the number of new hires generated because of the financial assistance of the HUD programs. The numerical goals are not absolute numerical requirements. They are goals that each recipient and contractor should try to reach. The goals, if not met, do not trigger sanctions against the recipient or contractor. However, if challenged on the issue of compliance with Section 3, the recipient or contractor should be ready to demonstrate that they tried to reach these goals. The goals as follows: 30% of all new covered hire, 30% of all covered new hires for the fiscal year 2025. I'm correcting grammar, I'm sorry. In addition, recipients and contractors are required to show compliance with the goal that at least 10% of any building trade activity which is subcontracted and 3% of non-building trade activity, construction management, etc., is awarded to eligible Section 3 business concerns. Further information regarding these requirements may be found in the federal regulations at 24 CFR 135 and the Lake County Section 3 plan.
All right. I certify that I've read the information above and understand the Section 3 requirements and numerical goals. All right. The actual paperwork part of this is now out of the way. And I'm going to turn this in. I'm going to give him a copy of the notice for the public hearing that was advertised in the paper. I guess for right now, because we still have 17 minutes left, we can discuss kind of what we have thought, what we've already talked about with using these funds for. One thing was the water fountain. ADA accessible water fountain that I think the last one we looked at had the normal water fountain, the ADA accessible, the dog fountain, and also the bottle filler. So that's one thing that we are looking at using the grant money for. We've also looked at doing the sensory equipment.
Sensory playground equipment.
Yeah.
So that would be all ADA.
Mm-hmm.
So, but also accessible to other young children.
Mhm.
Yeah, anybody will be able to use it. So, that's pretty much what we're going to try and spend $33,000 on, which
goes quickly when you're putting in playground equipment.
well, I think we'll be able to stretch this a little farther than the last time because
We don't have to do the 4 in place.
yeah.
Right.
So that that won't eat up 22,000 or whatever it was of
As long as we
the
place it right along that little walkway we've already got.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Which we could actually make a nice little. We could line it along that walkway leading up to the pour and play.
Yeah.
That's what I think would be really a clever thing to do. Then it doesn't
Mhm.
interrupt all the playing area that we
Mhm.
still have.
Yeah.
And on the other side, if we had any money left over, we could put some kids-size height benches.
Yeah.
That would be, yeah.
Oh,
All right. And yeah, we still have nobody.
Do we have any viewers?
No.
None.
No, no, not likely that we will,
Yeah.
but you never know.
Hope springs eternal.
But yeah, I think I,
They're 15.
yeah, I advertised this as 6 to 6:30, because, well, last time we had people show up,
Yeah.
so.
So I did have a crazy idea that there's something we could do.
Yes.
Go to look at. Remember what a splash pad is?
Ooh. The logistics of running the water to it, and whether or not Sue would start charging us for water.
I'm wondering if Indiana Water might give us a grant, since we wouldn't be running it every day. all
Yeah.
night long.
Yeah.
I kind of wonder if maybe Indiana Water would spot us somewhere.
No,
I doubt it.
no, because Sue, Sue can't get water refunds because Indiana American won't refund the water department, so.
You know, and
Okay.
they were said no to us 2 years in a row for the grants we wrote for
Yeah.
pond rehabilitation.
Which reminds me, I've got some stuff for
Mosquitoes.
mosquitoes to toss into the pond.
Mosquitoes.
Tiny little individually wrapped donuts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The
Yeah.
lifesavers for mosquitoes?
They're called pond dunks,
Pond
mosquito
dunks.
dunks, but they look like donuts and they're supposed to like
I know, I
float
walked over
on. Yeah,
there, it's like, you know what?
Oh,
Yeah. they're 1 per 100 square feet.
Yeah, something like that.
It's a 7-acre pond, so, or half
I was-
acre pond.
I was gonna
So
say-
how many square feet is that?
That's,
I'd have to do the math.
yeah, that's mapping.
Or
How many?
you could ask Google.
Google. That's what AI is for.
Secretaries.
This box here is the Lions box.
Oh,
So
that is. Always handy. You pop home, now, see what the key set was?
No, but we have time to
Since
fill
we're
it now, so.
A few more minutes, let's see her.
but yeah, that pack was only like $17. So
So a half acre equals 21,780 square feet.
Holy cow.
can I see that pack again, please?
Yeah, I think we can do maybe like, 10th of that.
We spotted 20 years supply.
Okay, so you said
21,780 square feet.
389.
so 21 of them.
This is a gold
22.
now, so it's silver.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Whole pack would about do it. It would cover 20,000 or 2,000.
389. Really cool.
So
That's what I want.
basically just float the whole thing.
You just change it.
Just kind of toss one every so often
Yeah, just
along the pond.
just float on there. And then we gotta throw the clarifier out there too.
Clarify.
The,
Barley straw?
yeah,
I threw that out last
The other
week.
day.
okay, cool.
Yeah, he did, he upped us the other day.
Did you mark it on the back?
He did.
No, I didn't, I forgot.
Oh, I thought you said you did.
No.
Shame.
No, because we'd already been over a month since we had last.
It's with the AM, so paying every so often, so he'd been marking on the bag and the dates.
Oh.
He forgot.
Yeah.
Just to kind of make sure that we hit it.
Well, we need a good rain to get that algae out of there right now.
Yeah, I was looking at pond
Well, there's
pumps.
something, we're trying to whip down to the bottom of our hill, and that means, so we could then put the kayak in the water and paddle down to the new Shirley Heights,
Yeah,
and then bring the boat out, put it in the pickup truck, and bring it over to the park, put it in the pond, and go around with a skimmer,
okay, yeah, that would help a lot.
you know,
Yeah.
like a pool net.
Yeah.
Which are
Yeah,
not very expensive,
uh-uh,
so, yeah.
yeah, I was
I
looking
mean,
at,
it'll be a bit of a juggling act, because you got to paddle, because it's a kayak, and you have to be able to maneuver the.
Unless you've got somebody on shore that's got a rope, 2 people on shore with ropes.
True. Tow you around the lake or the pond.
Yeah,
Mhm.
just
It's a
kind of
possibility, but what about it?
make a group effort out of it.
If somebody hadn't stolen our kayak, other kayak,
Uh-huh.
then, maybe we would have
Jerks.
gotten that accomplished a lot more readily. But we could clean some of the worst of it.
Yeah,
It'd be kind of fun. But then we have to put a sign up that says no boating except.
To- well, we can all wear vests or something so we look official. I've got plenty of spares.
Yeah,
The one I was wearing last time, we walked the dog, that's a park one, I took it home to wash it because
Yeah,
it was nasty, I don't know what happened to it.
yeah, I just
I haven't
washed
washed it
mine.
before.
And then I was looking into
So these
the
are,
pond area.
if they need some supplies.
yeah, one I think has like a $5 off coupon in there. Yeah,
And 20% off through the end of the month. And this one.
that one had stuff for paint. I wasn't sure.
Yeah,
Was that the one that was addressed to us?
What are
or you?
Yeah,
Yeah, because even if,
but these are, you have, $20 off $100
well, we,
for you, remember?
just type in their phone number.
yeah, because those are addressed to him personally.
Yeah.
So even if you don't use it for the park, use it for one of the plays or something, or your house or whatever.
I got a phone message from Amanda saying she called you and she did not answer. I don't know. I'm trying to make sure I'm not making a stupid decision.
About what?
She doesn't say. Be able to supply that information.
I don't see a call, maybe she called.
Mm-hmm. She said she did.
Oh.
Before, because we still have 7 minutes left until this part ends.
Mm-hmm.
I need to run out to my truck real quick and grab a pen, because I do occasionally jot down notes.
How you doing? I forgot to bring one. If you have 2 pens, then borrow one.
I might have,
I should.
I was gonna say, I might have a spare.
You have to switch?
She didn't leave a message, so. um,
That's fine, I know that real quick.
Yeah, why not?
You got time to think you should work with it.
Oh, I got one pen. And a pencil. Oh, I got 2 pens.
Oh, I always go for parks.
Gotta represent.
Yeah, I can make my little scrawlings.
Alright.
Like,
Oh, do you guys have a chance to look at the meeting minutes yet? The last one?
the one that I typed just before we came here.
Yep.
Oh, that's just for gutters, okay. I have pencils. One.
I'll run out to the
Nice
car
one.
and grab a,
Yeah,
and that,
you did.
quick. Come here, you. I'm going to steal this paper clip. Paper clip this, and this. So I'll keep losing the little bugger. Oh, Mary found these. I don't know if you
Oh. We have, I bet there's a bunch in the file cabinet.
Oh, we do have a bunch?
I don't know, but I
Okay.
bet there is.
Yeah, she found some, she was cleaning something out at the water department and came across those.
Cool. I don't know.
That's too. Am I reading this correctly, that Alamo's the only one involving gutters?
Yes, and they did do that as a separate
Yeah,
part of the bid, so.
yeah, okay. Oh my, okay. I was like, we have a public, we don't.
I think they were also about the lowest price.
They pretty much are, and even including the gutters. That's why I was verifying those.
Yeah,
Any comments? 629.
let me take a look.
Check.
No comments.
Thirty seconds. Not that we're counting it down or anything.
That's very funny. A postal digger to plant trees in parks.
A postal.
All right, the public hearing is now closed. Actually, do I have a motion to adjourn the public hearing?
I'll make a motion to adjourn the public hearing.
Do I have a second?
I will second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. And now we're going to start the meeting of the monthly meeting for the Parks Board with roll call. Joe Bachman here, Morgan McCabe,
Present.
Tony Martin,
Here.
Trelana Bachman,
Here.
Dave Anderson. Do I have a motion to approve the June 2025 meeting minutes?
I'll make the motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. No ordinances, old business, rummage in the park / townwide garage sale, for September. I know last month we talked about doing the double-sided signs again.
I just haven't got to it yet, but I will.
All right.
Add that back on my list. Things to accomplish. And we are firm on the September 6th.
Yes.
Okay, and the timing is the same as last, 9 to 3 or something?
Yeah. I think that'd be good
Yeah.
for even the townwide, do like 9 to 3.
So 9 to 3, I mean, people want to open up their garage earlier, they sure.
Yeah,
they
want- yeah.
We don't,
That-
we
that's
need to
their
work
house.
on the, I guess we need to work on focusing on the townwide garage sale angle.
Okay. I can,
Put that
come-
on the signage also.
yeah,
A date for Dartmouth Apartment, we're doing double sided.
yeah. Which I think doing it like we did last year, the weekend before,
I thought we were going 2 weeks.
or was it 2 weeks before?
I thought we picked that day.
Yeah, I thought we did. Hang on. Calendar.
It's not on here, it's fine.
But yeah, I was.
So that would be the 17th, 18th, and 19th.
That sounds
That's what
right.
I have on the calendar.
Yeah.
Are
Okay. Oh, because we looked up when River Forest's fall break was.
Mhm.
That's right.
Yeah, we have 17th, 18th. and
Yeah,
19th.
17th, 18th, 19th.
And we need to confirm that they're off that week, for fall break.
Yeah, I think we looked that up on their site.
I'm not sure, because they only had last year's dates available, not this coming year's dates.
Okay.
So we should try to confirm that before we solidify that.
Maybe email Trezak and see what he says. Yeah. She turned and looked at you as you were crunching.
That's not,
That's not new, he
Oh.
says.
So, all right, so we'll confirm the October date and
yes.
go from there. Anything else we need to add for that for right now, or just, I'll work on the angle of the townwide garage sale and.
Flesh out the details, because then we can add some of that on the signage.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, make sure we're going to either put something on the website that people can view, and we'll put up a QR code for that, so people can see.
They are available, the 2025 schedule, our River Forest is available the 13th through the 19th.
Nice.
So we have confirmed.
Okay,
Okay, good.
cool.
Excellent.
Lunch and learn update.
The heat has kind of, I think, kept people away,
Yeah,
but we're still doing like 30 a day. But we haven't gone over 40 again
yeah,
because it's been too hot. That will resume again on July 7th, Monday, July 7th. It goes till July 25th.
okay. Right, write the end date down, so I get people ask me that every once in a while.
I did post on Facebook.
All right, walking paths, we did talk to Robert a little bit about that.
Yep. We need it surveyed.
Yeah, so we need to have that area surveyed so we know our actual property line. I'm gonna talk to Sue and see if she can have the county surveyor come out to do that. You know, that, I imagine that's who a municipality would use. I don't know if they would just go out and hire.
That are.
Yeah, I don't know.
You had mentioned trying to see if RQAW would have a surveyor, and maybe
We could swing by.
use RQAW's surveyor, you know, as a donation. But I don't know if you had time to check on that or not.
I have not.
Okay.
They split up our groups and we weren't working with the surveyors. They were on the other side of the state. They were literally in South Bend while we were in Gary, so,
Yeah, I think that it was contingent of like, are they gonna be in the area?
yeah, they were quite on the other side of the map.
But if that's not possible, then, you know, we should probably go ahead and have whoever survey it.
Yeah. Okay, planting trees. I know one of the things on the meeting minutes from last month was getting a price, and we kind of looked at that during lunch and learn. Should we go ahead and proceed with getting one of those, augers?
For the coastal water, yeah. I
Yeah.
think that will help us do what we need to do. We just need to pick a date,
Okay.
you know.
Um,
I know your schedule is, you're back out on the road, so.
Yeah, so I'll be, work is kind of weird for me right now because NIPSCO's starting to get stuff done, but there's still other stuff they have to get done. So the contractor may be out there for like one day, do an intersection, and then we're going to be back in the holding pattern.
Okay.
But it's also dependent on NIPSCO getting done when they say they're going to get done, which we're not going to hold our breath on. I'm trying, this is live stream, so I'm trying to be as diplomatic about that as I can. But
Work depends on other people doing their work at
There we
this
go.
point.
so it's, I think weekend would probably be best, if at all possible. I know you guys are busy on the weekends though.
Through
so
the 13th.
through the
Yeah, the
13th.
next 2 weekends.
Yeah, the next 2 weekends. Now, I could do this Saturday. We have more time available, but then not on the 13th.
Yeah,
Right.
I would be available until
Yeah.
1:30.
What do you, oh, that's right, the, yeah,
Bartending event.
bartending the event.
Well, we want to just look at towards the end of the month then?
After the 13th, would be
Yeah.
great. So
Okay.
maybe the 20th.
Okay.
Yeah, Saturday the 20th, or Sunday the 20th, Saturday the 19th.
Right, I'm sorry, yeah, the show closes on the 13th. I'm sorry, so the 19th.
Okay, 19th.
I'm
So
sorry.
let's pencil that in as a possible, and you look at your schedule. If it works, we can do that.
Yeah. And just let me know and I'll get the order placed for that for,
Is that something we pick up in the truck?
I think we could pick that up in the truck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because even if it doesn't fit in the park truck, it'll fit in the back of my Ram.
Yeah,
I think it will, I bet it comes apart.
Yeah.
Did you look at the one, there's a 2-person one, and there's one that has an arm thing and something on the ground? Did you actually go see the difference between the two of those?
So one of them, I think the one that has like an arm thing that came down to the ground actually was meant to like be added onto a hitch, like and drug around.
Yeah, I wasn't sure from the
Yeah.
illustrator.
So they have a few different ones.
Okay.
The one we were looking at getting, I think, two of them that we're looking at, they're technically, they don't have a reverse. So we're gonna have to go down a little bit, come
Yeah.
back up, go down a little
And
more.
that's what I'm used to.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I say used to, I haven't used one in 25 years. But I'm betting they're the same.
Yeah. So, yeah, either way, we're gonna get it over to the park.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, no, I don't, it was more the one with the arm thing that I didn't know about. A standard postal digger, we'll put it in the back of the truck.
yeah,
Haul it over there and we'll just go do- zip all those holes.
yeah. All right, internet service. So that's the lovely little tiny, I didn't realize this printed out so dang small. I also didn't realize this wasn't the actual full quote, so I'm gonna have to pull up my email here real quick. So this is for the internet service itself. We would be looking at $29.75 a month from T-Mobile.
And nothing for the equipment?
No, that's the other part of it.
That's not correct. Okay, then.
Yeah, this is just for the service itself. I thought I had the full quote.
And this is a wireless.
Yeah, so this is a cellular, it's essentially a cellular type service.
Okay.
As soon as I spot this email again, where did it go? Yeah, I remember when I even did there we go. So there's the setup that I guess most towns use, the equipment is about $1,100.
Ooh,
There's one that was closer to 700, as I remember. Going back through the meeting notes I sent out on that. I thought they emailed me the actual price.
Quote date was 6/10/25.
Yeah, which is this here, but I think that's just the including Joey Metz, so you can provide pricing on the router. Okay, so I need to look for Joey Metz, which I don't know if he emailed me or not. He did not. So I'll reach back out to them. Because I told him, we'd probably just go with the less expensive of the two.
yeah, what you
Because-
sent out didn't have equipment.
Yeah,
That's why I gasped. I
Yeah.
thought I read it and thought, well, that's reasonable. I didn't realize there was another charge.
yeah. That was in the meeting minutes for the equipment.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So they both have an external cover on them. It'll actually mount to the side of the snack shack. They have an external cover on them. We run 2 wires in, one for power, one for Ethernet. And just plug it in and go.
Now, is it gonna offer wire service, or do we have to put our own router on it and create that?
No, it is its own wireless router also.
Oh, okay.
So it'll actually cover, they say like 150 foot radius is what they quote. We're in a very wide open area, so we will most likely get better coverage. Like you probably won't get coverage at the South Pavilion still, but the pavilion right next to the snack shack is going to be covered. So.
Okay. And do we feel this is something we would then offer as a feature of the park to the public, or just use internally for our own purpose?
Well, we can set up a guest network, which I think would be a good thing to offer.
I think so.
You
I think that
know,
would be a nice plus.
yeah,
Yeah.
Park.
and then, because that'll also give kids a place to come down, like if they want to come down during the school year, just to be able to be outside and do schoolwork.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's so cute.
Yeah, I know.
It also gives people a place to go to do stuff when the library's closed.
Yeah,
It does.
So if they're doing job
That's like a
applications
fun
and
day.
stuff.
What's
Yeah.
that, fun day?
Yeah.
yeah,
I think it's a good investment.
yeah.
And the equipment's a one-time charge.
Yeah.
There's no rental on it or
No,
anything.
that's why the price is only $29.75 a month. There's no rental. We'll own that outright.
Gotcha. Okay. And, what's the difference between the $1,100 or $700 units?
So the $1,100 one, I don't know the exact differences. I'm assuming the $1,100 ones probably integrate more with each other, because those are the ones that they kept talking about, towns providing Wi-Fi across the whole town.
Gotcha.
and they kind of link.
Yeah, we're not gonna have that
No.
happen. So we can go with the other unit, you think?
I think we'd be fine with the $700
And
unit.
do we need to have insurance on that? Because we know how tempting things are.
That should just be covered under our parks insurance.
Okay, all
It'd
right,
it'd be,
cool.
it'd be no different than like the cameras getting damaged.
Right, exactly, okay,
So,
cool.
if,
Alrighty.
I mean, if nothing else, I'll kind of, we can still just contact Tim Brown and say, hey, we added this on as,
Yeah. We should let him know.
yeah,
Who wants to damage what gives them internet?
you'd be
I
surprised.
know. I know.
So, do we want to make a motion contingent on the $700 price of the equipment to go ahead and move forward with this?
I will make that motion. I move that we purchase the $700 unit and subscribe for monthly internet service at the park.
I would second that motion.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. So I will reach out to them and get that going.
Now, once they have installed that, in the future, when we have a new building there, we would just they don't need to do anything, we could just literally uninstall it, put it in the new.
Yeah, because the little, like little video they had, it essentially just looks like it mounts outside, screws into the wall, you poke a little bit bigger hole to run your 2 cords through, and
If that's all there is to it, then yeah, we can move that.
yeah.
Okay.
Okey-dokey.
So, because I was very adamant about it having a network port on it so that our security cameras could plug into it.
Mhm.
So, all right. Community block development grants. See the last half hour for updates on that. I don't think we really need to talk about that anymore right now.
Okay.
Now that we have a sense that this is what we're wanting to do we want to get in touch with Belknap and find out if we want to go that route again or?
Yeah, it probably wouldn't hurt.
Okay.
Let's talk to him. I'm gonna talk to Velocity about the fountain, because my concern is draining water, like, the water doesn't go down your throat. Where's it gonna drain to?
Exactly.
So,
Yeah, they'll have to figure out how to get that
Yeah.
back in the.
and it may be just a matter of sending them the link so they can look at it and maybe contact the manufacturer for the specs to see like where everything hooks.
Drainage pipe we need.
Right, where everything hooks up and things like that, so.
I guess my other question would be, should we wait to hear from Velocity so that we know how much this is gonna cost before we start shopping for sensory equipment?
Probably wouldn't be a bad idea.
Okay. All right,
So I'll reach out to them tomorrow.
and then, once you know, let me know and I'll get moving. Right.
Okay. All right, last thing on the agenda, the new roof on the garage/bathroom building. So I managed to get quotes from several places. And just to kind of go through these quotes, it looks as though Alamo is, and I'm gonna do this just as roofing, not including, because we did ask for gutters, if they did gutters, and we asked them to put that separate. So just for the roof, which is the important part, Alamo gave us a quote of $3,724.44. Which I'm gonna write that on the front here so I don't have to keep flipping through.
So out of the 3724 44 is for the roof.
Yeah,
And they don't do The gutters are separate, it's another 12.8.
Yeah. Discount roof
5737.
for,
Yeah, I don't know, it's like,
There's
right, that's sweet
Yeah.
spot for us, isn't it?
discount roof was $5,737.37.
They want our business.
Boiler roofing was $4,875.
Is that for the roof only?
Yes,
And they don't have a gutter option.
they did not. And discount roof didn't either.
The only one for the gutter option was Alamo.
Well, Alamo said they do up for 12.
Yeah. For the gutters, yeah.
Yeah, seems a little high, but, yeah. None of the others included gutters.
Yeah.
Discount.
Discount was $5,737.37 just for the roof. And Corellis,
54.88.
yeah.
Base bid, and then of course, depending what else they find.
Right, and these are all base bid.
Yes,
So,
I'm sure they'll find some rock wood.
Oh, yeah.
well, the guy from, I think it was Alamo, when I met him out there, he looked up in there and he goes, you can already see where some of it's been patched in the past. So,
Yeah.
so there is the possibility that this is gonna go higher than quoted.
Mhm.
But I think Alamo is gonna be our best bet.
Alamo, even with the gutters, is cheaper than two of them, and is only slightly
Right.
higher than Boyer.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're using GAF stuff too, which is local, and that's helps keep the cost down. The Owen stuff is more pricey. There's one good discount from Corellis, said that they're gonna use a prop flash, they're using GAF too.
And who knows, Alamo may be a little bit lower on their quote in hopes that we were gonna do both.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean,
Which I'm almost tempted, almost tempted to say we,
Yeah,
should do both, because that's gonna save us from having to do it, and B, that puts us up with everybody else. So,
they also don't say, well, Alamo doesn't say how much it is to replace that wood.
oh, they didn't have the,
And somebody else did.
Anything included in,
Yeah, Corellis put it at 95 for a 4x8 sheet.
and somebody else was 85.
Yeah, somebody else was
And then,
85.
What's this, was 72.
Yeah, so they might have bid that part higher.
Yeah.
So we might want to ask them before we commit.
okay.
We know anything about Alamo roofing? Anything about it?
I've seen them around quite a bit. I haven't heard bad things about them. They're on the town's list, so,
I would say find out
see what the
What-
cost of additional
what that line item
plywood
is,
is. Okay,
to see if they're in line with the others.
okay,
Because if they're in line with the others, I think it would be good.
okay.
But if they bid it crazy high
Yeah,
to,
so, so basically, as long as they fall between 72 to 95,
yeah, I think it would be a good one to go with in that case.
yeah. So, I guess the big question is then, do we want to just do the motion of approving Alamo contingent on their price of having to replace any plywood being within the same range as the other companies.
As long as it's competitive.
Yeah,
I would agree with that, and then we go with the Boyer if, Alamo.
is way out there.
Yeah.
Because Boyer is saying for less than 5.
Yeah,
Did they say anything, well, we don't know, now, they didn't say anything about this fascia around the front edge of here, that needs to be replaced, I know it's pretty ratty in some places, so.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's completely rotten in places, you know that.
So, yeah, I think finding out how much these materials, the extra materials are gonna run would be
Yeah,
good, I'm betting they'll be probably within.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
part of it is that Alamo does include the drip edge, metal flashing protecting the rails, right?
all right, so let's do it like this then. Let's do a motion to approve Alamo for the roofing contingent on their price of plywood sheet replacements
Yes.
being between the $72 to $95 range, which would fall in line with the other companies that we got quotes from.
Mhm.
And if they are not within that range, do we want to say like within 10% of that range, or? Because even if they come back and say, well, it's $100 a sheet, you know, that's only $5 more than the high.
So, yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
let's say within that range or to be discussed,
Okay,
or to be further discussed. Because otherwise we're gonna be like, oh, well, do we want to do 5%? Do we want to do
Yeah,
this
Yeah.
much? Do we want to do this much? Yeah. So let's say either within that range or discuss it when we have a firm price.
okay,
How's that sound?
Okay.
it looks like it's only 8 square feet that they're talking about gross.
Mhm.
Preparation and demolition. So it's only 8 square feet. So it's only an extra $95.
Yeah.
Or whatever they're. Yeah, $95.
Well, and that's what they were able to see from inside their garage.
And it says approximately. So we're looking at,
So, yeah, let's just make it a contingent on, Alamo being,
if it's within $72 to $95, then yes.
and if it's not, we will discuss further and, basically have it tabled as a next month, or not tabled, but suspended for next month. So do I have that motion?
Oh, boy.
I'll make that motion.
Make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Cool. So I will call them tomorrow. Lord knows I have their number because they have contacted me daily. Well, they finally quit doing that.
Have you had your meeting? Just checking up on the status.
Well,
of
no,
the-
it's just their automated system.
Oh.
If you have any questions, it's like, I can't have questions until I
We
go to
haven't
a
met.
meeting.
We haven't met yet.
All right, legal reports, none. Announcements, none. Other business? I have no other business.
Nope.
Open forum for community. Comments from board members. Do Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I will make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I will second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Yeah.
I got through a lot of stuff in a
Yeah.
tidy fashion there.